let's let the noise go down a little bit. So I watched the ambulance make a U-turn, right, and turn on their siren as I was getting off the bus. Like I said, they never stop. So I get off on Church Avenue, Utica Avenue, across from the Walgreens, right, where I go pick up my medication, and they had a woman standing up there, and a guy in the street grabbing his crotch, and then a loud bang from the fireworks at the very same time. You know, but like I said, sometimes, you know, sometimes I just gotta be the shake of my head, because it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous, right? And look. He grab his nose and turn around and walk off. Anyway, so, and all of this because the woman across that came out of the building at the same time, and she looked over at me. Okay, you see her right there standing up. All right, you see him walking off here. Right, lighting a cigarette now. Yeah. Right, and now look at her standing out there across the street like she's taking a selfie picture. Look, it is outside dark at night. How they run their subliminal messages. Well, like I said, they know what they've done, and they know what they continue to do, and they're trying to hide. They're trying to hide, but guess what? Guess what? I will definitely expose them here, her right here. All part of their scheme. Anyway, so they know what they did, and I know what they did. All right, and other people know what they did, and they think they can get away with committing the perfect crime against somebody. All right, but it's not going to work. All right, it's not going to work. So, you gotta thank the ancestors. You know, you gotta thank the ancestors, because they live within us, and we carry their knowledge, their past, their pain, their joy, all that stuff. And this is what Christianity will never understand, because everything that they look for is outside of them. Okay? Right? Their spirituality is outside of them. Their divine energy, the divine self, is outside of them. So yeah, white supremacy has a vested interest in keeping black people ignorant and under the control of religion, particularly Christianity. So you gotta understand that. Okay, so when they talk about Jesus love you, they walk around preaching saying Jesus love you and you just came to bring peace. It tells you, it shows you that they don't even read their own Bible. Okay? Because in nowhere in the Bible Jesus said, I come to bring peace. As a matter of fact, in Matthews, Jesus says, think not that I have come to bring peace, but I come with a sword. I come to bring division between mothers and daughters, fathers and sons, brothers and sisters. Jesus did not come to bring peace on earth. Jesus came to destroy your family. Okay, but you can't see that, even though the result is the proof of what Jesus said he was coming to do. Okay? So again, it just proves that Christians do not read the Bible. So I can prove to you another point. Again, in the Gospel of Thomas, and there's a lot of reason why you see a lot of black women today are so masculine, because as Jesus was speaking to his disciples, Mary Magdalene was one of them. And Thomas said to James or whoever that Mary should not be there because she's a woman. And Jesus turned to him and said, leave her, for I will make her. You know, all the sirens. Listen, look. Let me stay right here. Followed by a yellow car. Yeah, I know they're scared. They're running scared. So anyway, as I was saying, so Jesus said, leave her, for I will make women like the men, so that they shall enter the kingdom of heaven. I hope you guys are listening. All right, that's the Gospel of Thomas. Okay. So, like I said, and that's not in the Christian Bible. That's one of the books that they left out of the Bible. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I mean when I say Christians don't study their belief system. They haven't read the Bible, but they'll claim that the Bible is the true word of God. Okay, with all the contradiction, all the hypocrisy that is inside that book. Okay, and then when you point at the contradiction and the hypocrisies, they will say, well, man wrote the Bible. But didn't you just say that God inspired man to write the Bible? So the Bible is perfect in any way? And it's the true word of God? Well, if it is, why aren't you living in the so-called true word of God? Why? We all know, because if they do, we know what kind of world we would be in. So, proof that they don't read the Bible, they don't know shit about the Bible, except for what the pastors tell them. And as a young woman just walked past me, a guy across the street here looked over, he's walking over here, putting his hand behind his head. Look at him. I love exposing these people because, you know, they think they're slick and they can get away with it. But like I said, they don't want me standing in front of any jury or anything like that if I've done anything wrong, because they want to hide what they've done. And see, look, they all come outside now. They all come outside now. White guy. They just waiting. They're just waiting for me. White woman across the street. They all came out at the same time. All right. Yeah, that's your perp neighbors, the harassment group. And yeah, if I can zoom in, get a good picture of her. Okay, right there. Alright, zoom in a little bit more. There she go, right there. Okay, yeah. They know what they've done, and I know what they've done. You know, and I remember, I was just thinking about this too. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I remember in 2000, it was February, I believe, March in 2001, when I went to Antigua. It was very late at night. I was getting a drop home, not drop home, but to where I was staying at. And I was on the beach. And the funny thing happened is that I stood up. Yes, right. All right. I looked up on the road, and at the exact moment that I looked up, a guy that was driving an SUV. Okay, and it was an SUV. Got out and just left the car there and kept walking and went his way. Literally, that's what he did. Okay. So when I started to think about it, I said to myself, okay, so how was it that at that exact moment I looked up, this guy in this SUV stopped the SUV right on the road, got out and left the vehicle there. And I always thought that was strange. And again, this wasn't, so I understand that this was happening to me even way before I really was aware of what was going on. Okay. And so, when I start to remember little things like that started to happen. And usually when people been being manipulated and being put on the mind control and stuff like that, the psychological programming, eventually memories will start to come back of things that was happening before, you become aware of your targeting or this program. Okay, and I also talks about when I was working. This was in 2000, the year 2000. I was called into the office of the owners and called a liar. Right? They literally called me a liar because the general manager, white guy, of course, lied on me about some things, and then guess what? After they fired me, a few months later, one of the workers, one of my ex-co-workers, called me and be like, guess what? They fired the general manager. And I'm like, why? Because he lied on you, and so they fired him. All right, so things like that has been happening to me for, like I said, I'm not saying that particular incident might relate to my targeting, but it could have. Okay, at this point I don't know, but I definitely remember on the beach looking up at the exact moment that this guy in this SUV stopped the SUV in the middle of the road, got out and just walked off. And it was like I think they were testing these things out on me very early, not very early. I should say before my targeting, but again I had no idea. So these things, like I said, these things, they think they can get away with the perfect crime using this technology. And there are literally people out there, and I'm a black person, I'm gonna tell you, there are literally white supremacist people out there who will put drugs in your food, in your drink, in your food. Okay, because there are incidents where I went out to eat and felt strange after eating, felt like very tired, like where I wasn't even tired, and I just had this weird feeling. And so like I said, they think that they can get away with doing this shit, and they're not, because they've been running these psychological programs within the black community for decades. Okay, decades. So like I said, I'm no longer surprised. Okay, but what I am going to do is to continue to expose them. What I am going to do, regardless of all the lies they tell and all the idiotic followers who are following them based on their religious belief system or whatever they hear what they've been told, and they're ignorant because they don't want to learn anything. They're being fed whatever information they're being fed, and that's it. That's all they want to know, which is fine. But like I said, I'm going to keep exposing it. All right. So take care. Have a good night.